Hey, good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of that BYTTT Get Rich and Fit Trying to Mash Up this morning. So much is going on. If you wasn't part of my charting class yesterday at 4:15, I kind of gave a warning of what could happen here, and a lot of my future traders are already taking some of the trades to this downside. So I would say don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. That way it lets the algorithm knows that I bring you some gems. Let's go ahead and get right to it. So we had a nice little conversation about internal and external structure, and you could kind of see the internal structure has been fighting back and forth, and we kind of gave this chop, and most chop are usually built around those internal and external structures battening out. Now you can kind of see ever since we made this drop off here on the 45-minute, we have been just playing to the downside, and this is starting from October 29th. So we haven't made any highs in a few days, actually a couple of weeks now. So if we kind of wrap this in a bow, this lets us know that is there a potential that we're going to go ahead and try to get into lower lows here, and maybe to get the target that's down here. Well, we did mitigate quite a few levels over here. I want to kind of explain this as I go ahead and update my levels. And what I am seeing on the daily is this, right? We kind of had this massive, when I mean massive, I'm talking about massive drop off that started all the way back here. And you can kind of say, they retested on the whole entire time, right? But we got this November 4th that kind of gave us this nice little bleed out. Even though they try to bounce it back up, but we got this nice bleed out to the downside as they're trying to make a nice little push towards that direction. Now, here's the fun part about it. Let's go ahead and get deeper into the weeds. If we look right here, they've already mitigated this. They've tested it over and over. They got down to this level, and they've not only destroyed it, they've mitigated here, they've mitigated here, and also they are fighting to hold on to here. So we're going to get rid of all of those, right? And we're going to go ahead and look at this in its totality. How I kind of see it is that since they made a massive push up to here, it's almost like we have a level that is trying to get up into these upper registers that's going to look something similar to this, right? And this will be our November 7th candle. So let's go ahead and mark this off, November 7th. That way I know what I'm dealing with in itself. And if they're going to go ahead and test some lows, they're going to have to test the lows down into these registers so that way they can go ahead and really test this here. A couple of things that stood out was this fair value gap that we keep on fighting and we kept on bouncing off of. We did it a couple of times, and one of them, they just did not let it get that low. So what does that mean? Well, that means that if we keep on trying to get down there and we're making lower highs at the same time, there's a possibility we're going to fill this whole entire fair value gap. And that's probably what I'm going to be looking for throughout this day. But where can they give us a little bit of a bounce? And that is this area right here, because I think we could go ahead and give it a nice little bounce. Let me squeeze this down so you can see more chart. And if they do that, then we're going to go ahead and try to test this area here, which is going to destroy more internal structure as they're trying to make that push to that downside. So let's see what happens there. Another thing that I want to kind of key off on is the fact that we did kind of have a level right here where we was trying to push down like that, but they mitigated that towards the morning. So I don't know if we're going to get a continuation here, but if we did get a continuation, it would be something like around here, because that should go ahead and let them kind of fill this fair value gap. But by them putting some pressure on here and here, it does make me question if they can. It just depends if the sellers are going to step back in and try to push this back down to the downside. So just be patient, don't do nothing reckless, and you should be relatively fine. All right, let's go ahead and keep this party going. So I've been talking about Bitcoin for a while, and I've been explaining this to y'all that 100,000 level got a hold, right? Wrong one. BTC USD Coinbase, right? And that's what they're trying to do. They just broke internal structure as they were trying to get to this upside, and right now this whole entire push, it's still bearish. It's still trying to become bearish. Now we're going to be dealing with some chop. They might chop it until it gets to this tight little area and then eventually drop or pop. We don't know, but I do know that there's an area right here that's interested and the area that's here that's interested. If this thing breaks under 98.892, you're gonna have a lot of trouble. But the first place I would say maybe look for an entry is probably 99.3. Hold on, I'll let you know right now. 99,170. If that 99,170 gets affected, look for this thing to go ahead and just cascade all the way down, because they've already mitigated some areas right here. This got to go, and right now that internal structure is getting beat up. And if this is the micro trend that's beating up to the major trend in that regard, or at least up until this point, right? And these are your points that has some sell side liquidity, so that way they can go ahead and try to get them out the way and try to push and continue to the upside. So going to be a very interesting day today. I'm telling you this right now, especially when it comes down to Bitcoin. I'm not going to update the dailies on this one yet. I'm going to do that off the video, so that way I don't take up much of the time, because I do want to go over to talk about the dollar before it gets to 9.15, and I want to go ahead and plan out our NQ's trade. And you can kind of see right here, they have liquidated a lot of this move to the upside, but they left this little gap right here. I call these kicks, right? And these kicks are always points of interest, and you can kind of see we got this one right here, and then that's part of that whole April run up in there. And there is a lot of suppression of the US dollar. There's a point where the US dollar has to get a little bit of a breather, and I think it's probably more closer to that than anything else. US dollar pushed down way further than I expect, but if they do give this a little bit of a bounce, because the weekly still kind of looks like this, just a nice little rejection, could get a nice little test, and then this is the fatigue that they could be facing. I think this is that retracement. But if they consolidate this all the way to it goes down, again, market can push up during that time. All right, just be patient and don't do anything reckless, because if they consolidate this, we could get our Santa rally. I was looking for the Santa rally to happen as we drop, but I guess it kind of makes sense that it does the Santa rally while we are consolidating, because that will allow us to reset the oscillators, and whatever explosion that happens towards into 2026, maybe some major profit taking or whatever the case may be. I can see 2026 the US dollar gets back to 1015. That's probably the area that I'm going to be looking for, because that'll give us a nice little 200 retracement and test after building the base right here. And that's pretty much it for that. Let's go ahead and keep this party going. Let me make sure I got this shared for the team. All right, that way when they come in, they're already ready. And make sure I turned off. Yeah, okay, I did turn it off. All right, cool. All right, so that said, let's go ahead and get into what levels I am looking for. Let's go ahead and start with NQ in itself. This was me kind of toying around. I am still in my trek, where I am going to be using proprietary indicators, of course, like, you know, letting me know signal and good opportunities for me to take trades. But overall, I want to only trade making money with trend lines, nothing more, nothing less, and that's it. That is it. So we're going to see, we got ourselves a nice little pivot that's over here in this area. Boom, boom, and then this is our deviation, and they attempted to mitigate it right here, but you can kind of see that 50% retracement was a very solid level, and they are failing to actually do that. So now we kind of have this like micro trend inside of a micro trend, and they're trying to see if they can get some lower lows in the price here. Now that fair value gap I explained was going to be a tough area, and you can kind of see we are already starting to bounce, especially with some of the oscillators being overheated. You can kind of see right here, this is your MACD, that one's overheated, and we're going to see what ends up happening. Can they curl this back up and push it back up to the upside? We'll see as the market opens up. Got like 13 minutes left. If you haven't been on the floor before, I'm a very simple person, and I'm going to go ahead and break this down so I can be completely concentrated with the market. We only do opening range breakouts. So to kind of give you a little instance of opening range breakout, we're going to take the first 15 minutes of a session. So I'm going to take the London session, which is at 3 a.m. And that is our 3 a.m. right here. And what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and mark off our highs and lows of that specific candle. And we will turn around and be bullish above that level. You can see they failed that, and then when it got bearish here, it just kind of retested and it just pushed down even further. So the question is, can we go a little bit further? Now here's the fun part that you got to also understand, is that right here is your Asian session, and they did something very similar, but instead of it being down, it was more like up, and they kind of pushed that up, but that upside was a little weak. So we're going to be looking at the New York sessions version of that and see what type of move we can do. What up, Giant? Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning. Good morning. What's going on?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. How about yourself?
Blessed and highly favored. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Exactly. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's see. So let's go ahead and start marking off some of these deviations. Let me see. What is it that I see? Oh, I got to clear these drawings. Let's get you out the way. And let's go ahead and zoom in here. I did this 45 minute. Let me see if I did the 45 minute. I think I did. Mm-hmm. Let me mark these. Let's put you globally and globally. Let's mark you off. Let's put you. Your name is 1113. There we go. All right, so you kind of got a sense of that. Why are you acting silly? Save and reload. Get a little bit of technical difficulties. There we go. And that's what I need to see. All right, perfect. Let's minimize that, maximize that, and here we are. All right, so so far I got that, and then I got what we're doing with the structure. So we're fighting inside of this area right here, right? And that fist fight is based on this price action here trying to hold down and be that micro trend to the upside here. So we're gonna go ahead and drop down. Actually, I think 15 minutes is good here. Let me do the same over there. And I can see that price is trying to take that up. Let's go ahead and mark this up like that, and I'm gonna make it global. All right, so this is what the uptrend was, but you gotta also remember when that uptrend happened, we made higher highs up to this peak here. So what was our higher low that created that? That has to come first, right? So that's our higher low. And that higher low is over here making that higher high. So now we have internal structure, which is this downward internal structure fist fighting with the major structure and the micro. So now that we kind of consolidated sideways like this, we got ourselves a different deviation of a pivot. And if we make lower lows, it probably looks something like that. That's the one that kind of shorted us in itself, and that is what we're going to be fighting. So let's mark off some levels. I'm going to go ahead and mark off here, and I'm going to mark off here, and I'm going to say that these areas here, oh, don't you dare, don't you dare. Let me do it like this. Put you there. Come on, behave. There we go, and there we go. All right, so what this is telling me is that this area here is letting us know that we're going to be fighting here. But again, these deviations are mofos, right? So I'm going to go ahead and readjust this with a 5-minute chart, only because I'm going to be trading quite a bit on the 5 minutes. So we got ourselves a nice little pivot here. That's solid. Okay, that's solid. Actually, it's on point. I like where it is. All right, so far so good. Let's go ahead and mark off what could be a continuation. We got ourselves a deviation down to here where we are pushing on our first, our second, and right now here is our third deviation into our fourth deviation into almost possible. I could mark this off, but it's going to just start getting ridiculous into another one, and then last one into DJ Khaled, another one, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 deviations. This New York session is probably going to give us a nice little pop. So let me go ahead and log into my accounts right now, because I do have some $600 puts for next week that I jump onto. And I think it might be choice for me to take the one contract off the table. I did not buy I was going to buy another one at the end of the day, but I hesitated and I was like, am I really sure? And I was like, you know what, I'll just carry the one, because they did draw me down to like 30%. So Sometimes you just gotta make those decisions. Just relax, and then let the market release whatever profits they want to give to you. That's all, nothing more. All right, we got ourselves 7 minutes. So I think this is probably a good time since we got some time. I was trying to get myself set up early because yesterday was a disaster trying to get set up and everything was crashing on me at the same time. So now that I have everything set, I could probably go over to Bitcoin again because I do want to play some Bitcoin sometime this week because I do believe that this 100,000 mark is the area that is going to be tested repeatedly. And I think it is going to relatively fail to the downside. But again, the market is always king. You do not force anything and accept it for what it is. So far, this thing looks like it wants to push down, especially with this micro trend trying to push it down. So I want to see if we can break this. If it breaks under 90, this level here, 99,170, I'm shorting it. That's just how I feel. All right. Because I think we could take out this wick, and when we take out this wick, that momentum is going to bring us down to 91. I think. But again, that's a speculative. I'm not saying that that's the answer. Do not just jump into it. I am not a fiduciary. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a guy that loves my tickers. All right, so let's go ahead and keep this going. We got ourselves, this is supposed to be oil, so let's go ahead and switch that up. So oil, remember I kind of told you about this order block. They are trying to push oil up. Unfortunately, they are back outside the order block. I'm probably going to change up my lines later on this week because we just been playing inside of this range, and I might go up to a higher time for like a week. Yeah, probably like a weekly, and I'm just going to play the range of the weekly because that's what it looks like we're doing. So that's going to be very fun to kind of set that up, and I would love to kind of share that with y'all. Actually, man, next week I think we're going to do some oil trades. All right, that's that one. This one is supposed to be gold, so let's go ahead and switch that up. This is GC. GC on the 1 day looks like this as we are continuing to kind of push up, but I do have a lot of question marks on this upside because we have been fighting breaking microstructure, which is these right here, and we are in a microstructure already. Let's get rid of you. Oh, all of you on here. Okay, let me just unlock. So we're going to get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you, and this one's kind of like that deviation of that trend line. So we're going to go ahead and repivot this one. So let's go ahead and bring you over here. And then this is kind of useless. And we got ourselves another deviation, which again, internal structure, external structure. That's what I'm seeing here, right? So in this internal structure, we are the third deviation. So look for gold to probably give up some of its profits. Kind of something aligned this. Look at how they liquidated this. If y'all were paying attention to me on Tuesday, you would have seen that gold was going to take off like this. So shout out to those that took some money out of that. And then now they just broke the fourth deviation, which is this one right here. And this is a perfect bump and run coming down to the downside. Let's go ahead and get rid of this fair value gap here. And I want to mark off this fair value gap over here. Let's do that. Put you there. And we're going to go ahead and call you $11.13. So let's see what happens with that. I think we could come back to the 50 moving average. Keep an eye on that. We could dump all the way down, retest this area, and that'll be a good healthy pullback because we are on the fourth deviation and this thing needs to like calm down. But if they are going to reverse, this is the area that they need to go ahead and liquidate, and they are starting to really put some pressure to the downside, and this is going to finish in 2 minutes. So this can be a really official line, and it's that micro trend going against that major trend, and we'll see what happens. That's all we're going to do. That is all we're going to do. All right, let's keep this going. We got silver. Silver is dumping off, which is, I tell y'all, listen, you have to trade. So, not trade. You have to chart silver. Silver, it drags gold all over the place. If gold is making higher highs, then that means silver would have to make higher highs. And that's kind of how it works. Sometimes when this diverges, this thing really, really starts to liquidate all the other commodities down to copper, platinum, and everything else. This is always chart silver. All right, so we got our British pound. British pound is pulling into the area. This thing looks like a bear flag, so I'm thinking strengthening of the dollar will happen. So if this bear flag, actually, let's start these drawings all over. Bye-bye, right? if this bear flag right here breaks down, that means breaking this structure. So let's go ahead and call it like this. And like that. And then the micro trend here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do like this, just because I don't have anything else to go by. But we break under these two wicks here. This thing's going to go ahead and test here. Probably give you a bounce, maybe give you a W. But if it got some strength, we might fall right on through. And that's what I'm looking for. I already broke down Bitcoin for y'all. And this one is supposed to be the Russell, so RTY. I'll be playing around with my charts. I apologize. All right. I think RTY is going to be the place that you're going to park your money. Just keep that in mind. You got some extra cash. You got some things that you like, I want to sell this to go ahead and park my money somewhere. RTY might be the space that you want to do that. And then the US dollar, I already broke this down. We're looking for a bounce off this level because they went ahead and tried to mitigate this. But again, we have ran away from gaps. So it's not a guarantee that we're going to go ahead and drop in the market. But if this gives us a bounce, it starts to put pressure on this downtrend. We should be able to see that. All right, we got ourselves less than 2 seconds. Yee, here we go. Market's on. Let's get this party started, right? All right, let's get here. 15 minutes, like I said. So if you haven't been on the show before, it's a very simple strategy. I just look for what is going on? What's taking so long? Really, all that drop off and all I got is 10% of negative after being down 30%. That is just disrespectful. Y'all really don't respect my trade. All right, so we're getting ourselves a nice little push up here. And again, like I said, this is going to be that order block as we are building a micro trend that looks like this. But if this thing breaks this level here, I may just short just because. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I just might do that. Just might. Look for the level of 25,450 to fail. And if it does fail, we're going to go ahead and dump even further. And that looks like that's what we're doing right now. And I want to go ahead and do that. Oh, actually, let me do this in Robinhood. I am running out of day trades. I should have been in my Robinhood already. Should have ran in there. That's the gift and curse of the margin account. I'm gonna tell you that right now. All right, we got that. That is that. Oh damn! It already went through 450. I thought that was the low of the. Lord. All right, be careful for a bounce here. That was it. That was the trade. Shout out to those that took that. If you did. Kind of bloopered that a little bit. Let's see if these oscillators can reset. It's almost like they're reloading here because of that fair value gap. That initial probably was it. That initial was probably it. See how they're trying
I had 20%, but I didn't take it. I'm still in. I'm debating what I'm going to do.
So we're fighting with the fair value gap. So this is a very key level of structure. Let's see if it gets under 450 here. Oh, these contracts are juiced. For a scalp, it's probably good. I do believe that they're going to toy with that 450 using it as a reload area. If they can sweep the liquidity here, that'll be great. But I'm leaning on they're going to mess with people. So our opening range so far, it is set like this, and our bearish side is sitting right on top right now of a fair value gap that is bullish, and there might be some bulls that are just waiting. Because now that they finally agreed to government reopening and they got the budget for it, could this be the bounce that they're going to give everybody? Maybe. Maybe not. Got a few tickers we're going to be looking at in a little bit. I'm just going to see how the first 5 minutes kind of goes through. Berkshire is doing something that it's not supposed to do. Breaking rules. Come on, 450. If this 450 fails, this thing dumps something vicious because there's a lot of buy side liquidity that just stepped into here. If this hits my break even one more time, I'm gonna have to get out, but I think I'm gonna hold. Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the stuff. That's the stuff. That's the
That's
stuff.
the stuff.
Come
Yes,
on.
sir.
Get to that
Come
50%. Get to that 50%. Come on, get to that 50% of that fair value gap. Don't you dare try to bounce right now. Come on, that should scare the bears right on. Oh, the bulls right on out. There we go. I'm taking that. That is $600 on a micro. I'm a mini. Let's go. Add it to my PA after a disastrous week all week. And I am positive for the week. And I'm going to take my money and bow out gracefully. I should have took that option contract and I was doing it too. But the funny thing about it is that I was more worried about the scalp because I really feel like that would have been a better place for the option contract. But unfortunately, you cannot trade options before the market opens. So if you have something that's open all the way to like next week in November 2021, which I told y'all yesterday, you know, November 2021, $600 puts are probably going to be very interested because there is some massive move if this internal structure keeps on failing. And that's what we were doing. We kept on failing in the internal structure. And right now we're about to mitigate this whole entire thing. And the next target would bring us all the way down to here. And I know they want to test that. And if they fill through this fair value gap, the next order block is going to be at 302, which we're heading there now. My target was the this area here, that 50% of the fair value gap. If you want to hold on to a giant, listen, it is nothing wrong with that. Just
Took my profit.
You took your profit. Okay, good. Woo! That's what I was a little concerned for a second. I was a little concerned, but yes.
Yeah, I'm waiting on your next entry. When you gonna get back in?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait for 15-minute opening range to kind of settle. As much as I gotta get out of my notion of waiting for 15-minute range only and start to see, because I see these opportunities and I don't want to break that rule, and I just don't take those trades. But that was a solid one. That was a solid hit.
If you do happen to get into something outside of your thing, just make sure you have your risk management in place.
Exactly, like knowing exactly where I would want to get out, what type of target, and everything else. Yeah.
Because you have the skills. I would do that in poker. Like, I could play a mediocre hand, but I know my skills are excellent, so I can manage myself whether I need to fold or not. You know, you see what I mean?
Yeah, I'm on the same page with you.
Yeah.
Okay, is my Bluetooth dead? I've been trying to connect my Bluetooth this whole entire time. It just would not connect. Oh, joy. All right, so just to let you know, Giant, I cannot get my Bluetooth on my ear so I can hear you. So I would say YouTube can hear you right now. So
okay,
cool. Just to let you know, if you say anything, you know,
thanks
you
for
don't
the
want to
heads
say.
up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to get one more drop, but this is the base of the fair value gap. I think this is a good place for them to try to retrace through, but I do think that this is going to keep on dropping like a lead weight. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of this deviation, and right now this deviation is putting pressure using that as our top wick of that 15-minute. So just look for this bad boy to probably even push it a little further, because right now we're putting in multiple fair value gaps on this 15-minute. Here's one right here, and that's that push. So we mitigated that whole fair value. Where did I get that from? I want to say 2 hour. And no. 45 minute. No. Daily? Yeah. Daily fair value gap. So we just mitigated that whole entire fair value gap on the daily using the internal structure. So right now, those that are riding the external structures are probably going to go ahead and try to pile in, you know, kicking the man while they're down. So look for bear flags. They'll be popping up, and I won't be surprised that we get some setups in here when it's all said and done. So just be patient. 14 seconds here, and in the 15-minute, we still got more time here. All right, next 5-minute candle is going to be crucial on what they're going to do next. Yeah, if it wasn't for the value, because I was gonna get the the 610 QQQ puts, but they were at $60 already. Now it got up to like 40%. No, I take that back. We got up to like 50% already, and this is going. I think this is a break retest type of situation. So I would love for them to pull back a little bit to allow more sellers to come in. So I hope they don't just run away on this and see what happens, but we'll see. Still making lower lows. Yeah, if I had bought one more contract of that QQQ 600 in November's, I think I would have been happy. That contract would have given me probably somewhere around the ballpark 50%. Right now I'm sitting at like 11%. But the one contract is still solid. I got enough time. My plan was to make a decision tomorrow. So I'm going to see if I can hold on to this bad boy before I get rid of it. Hey, Javi, good morning. Just a little FYI, my Bluetooth is not working. So I got you on loudspeaker more so than how we normally do it. How you feeling? If you're talking, your mic's not working. I saw you on mute, but I don't hear anything. I saw it go on and off, still nothing. Yeah, you might need a new mic. No, leave me alone. Just leave me alone. I'm trading. Let's put this on vibrate. I guess that's as good of a retracement they're going to get. Look at that drop. I got 2 minutes and 40 seconds. The danger with this is if everybody that's shorted from here that gave that extension took all their profits there, I think this can give you a nice little rubber band slingshot right back up. Kind of like that. That's funny. That's why I didn't want to chase this. So kind of give y'all a little bit. If you haven't been on my channel before, I am a proponent of the jambalaya rice order block. All right. And that's basically this price action that's right here. It is literally a place where there is some greens, there's some reds, there's some long wicks, there's some short wicks, there's some dojis. It's just a mixed mosh pit of a whole bunch of junk. And since this is on the 15-minute, let's go ahead and look right there. And you could see we got a nice little bounce off of there. And we're coming back into it again. I would consider shorting this again. But I'm going to go to my micros right now. Oh, don't you dare. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I'm going to take the low. That's what I'm going to have to take. I'm going to have to ride with that one. All right. Let's see if we can get right through. And all right. Let me go ahead and consider taking my profits. All right. There. That was a good little pop scout. Didn't make much because I was on micros. But again, this is the bottom of the order block. So let's see if they retake that. Taking it again. Let's see if we can go ahead and go even lower, because I think the momentum is still on my side. So you can get a spike through. No spike through. I'm willing to risk like 50 bucks on this. See how this works. Down like 25. Come on. That was the recurl and trap the bulls. Let's go. Let's keep this party going. All right. Okay, you made lower lows. Let me take something off. I got greedy. I added more contracts on that retracement, and I just went ahead and just destroyed them on that. And I just scaled out. Now I'm going to one runner, and I'm willing to risk $25 on this runner. Let's get another drop. So now let's come over here. Are we going to fill this gap? This is where I get mad at myself, because I said I was going to aim for this gap, but I thought we was going to get a little bit of different type of price action. It looks like we're going to go straight for it. And this is a very wide 15-minute opening range and very disrespectful. So I can see bulls giving up some of their position on this. I don't think we're going to get that gap just like that. I'm going to try to hold on to this runner. Like I said, I'm willing to lose $25 and let that runner sweep down to get all the way down to here. That's my goal. That is my goal. Bearish indications is coming in through the charts. Come on. Don't you dare hit my $25 stop loss.
Jack.
Yes.
Could you hear me?
I can hear you.
How much money did I lose trying to figure my make?
Oh, you lost money? Ah, damn it. Yeah, that's why I got in early today, because I was like, I don't want no bloopers or anything, but I kind of still blooper because I was waiting for opening range to happen. Then I was going to go ahead and short the market. So now this contract went from $60 to $120, so that's 100%. I should have pulled that trigger, but it's not part of the plan. Opening range breakout, that's what we're looking for, right? 5-minute close below is what we're going to look for. Let's see if we can get that. 3 fair value gaps. Look at that. I won't call this 3 red crows. I won't call that. But what I would call that's a good impulsive move to the downside. And the 15 minutes put in some real pressure. The 4-hour looks like this, just sweeping liquidity like it has no business. Looks like a head and shoulders also. So there's a lot of things that just looks really, really good. So I think I really want to feel confident on the 5-minute opening range. And then we'll just go ahead and play it back down to the downside. What target are we going to look for? We're going to look for here, 270. So we'll see what happens. They want to push it back up. I want that NQ gap. They just liquidated the bears. Let me go ahead and mark off the 45 minutes so you can see the levels. Funny thing about it, they tend to trap them when they get something like that. So we'll see what happens here. This is my entry. I'm going to look for entries. Anything below 313, I will be shorting. Anything above 424, I will be buying. So we'll see what happens there. All right, that is a short right there. Let's see how much we can get.
Javi?
Oh, that spiked right back up after I got in. They're trying to buy the dip here. The question is there enough bears to push this right back down? Looking for another level for me to go ahead and scale into strength, because I think we're going to break out the bottom. But they're trying to build a base here. Come on, grab that liquidity. Grab that sweet, sweet baby liquidity. And they just tapped my $50 stop loss, but I didn't get hit. Yep, they just hit it now. All right, so I lost 60 bucks on that. All right, I guess I'm gonna sit back and relax. So let's go ahead and break this down. So since we're on the 5 minute, I am looking at these multiple deviations. That is one of them, and they are trying to get back up to this level here. That's probably where I'm gonna short next if I want to be ballsy and do another scalp. Probably not with options because I'm gonna wait for the opening ranges to actually pay me on the options. So probably do some futures, micro trades against that. 30 seconds. I think we took out a lot of internal structure, so this is going to be very... Oh, there goes my area again. Am I going to take this entry? Yep, I'm going to take this entry down again. I'm going to take it down again. Bring it back. Bring it back. All right, and that is almost to my stop loss. Don't you dare do it. They hit my $50 stop loss. I'm out of it again. Now they held it with the 5 minutes. So I'm not going to give it another shot. So I kind of gave it 2 shots. I know this order block was going to be tough. And I do know they're not going to just give away this wick down here. So they're going to have to like allow the retracement to happen. Let's see. 5 minute oscillators. Let's see what's going on with them. Yeah, it's at its basement. 15 minute. At its basement. 30 minute. At its basement. 45 minute. At its basement. we're at the bottom of the bottom. Even a 2 hour, 4 hour, and let's go 1 day. 1 day is a curl over though. And then 1 week, and 1 week is still in that divergence that I've been planning on it for the longest. And I still think that we're going to get to 600 before we actually get a real true bounce. It just depends on which part of the level we're going to bounce up to. I would love some of this internal structure to hold and literally affect the current bulls that try to step in, because right now this is your micro trend trying to beat the major trend, which is point, higher high, higher low, higher high. That's how that looks like. All right, 3 minutes and 24 seconds. See what happens.
Dad, if you add a timer, the timer's up.
I didn't put a timer.
Okay, but it looks done.
It's not. All right, they're getting into the fair value gap. If I was with an eval, I probably would try to short at 376, 75, but you know what? I just remembered paper trade. I know they're doing the leap thing. Let me do it with leap. Toy around with that. What I want to do on my PA, I want to short here, or maybe even short here, assuming that this is just retracement after massive sell-off, and they're allowing some people to kind of come in. The other part of me that kind of has a little bit of a bull bias is that now that we are done with the lockdown, this could be the bottom, and then we just go chase all-time highs. That's the other part. So we'll see how that goes, and be patient. All right, we got a little bit of reversal on some of these smaller time frames here, but again, we're at the basement. I just want to see this previous support turn into resistance test. See what the market's going to do with that. Kind of got a little rejection there. Let's take that.
Bulls seem like they're just not giving up right now.
Yeah, but this is a massive drop, so just be patient and then make sure you manage your risk. I wouldn't just get out of the fair value gap because we already filled it. So this is like the order block of the fair value gap giving you the rejection. If it can just do that. There we go. Come on. One more push.
Unless they're going to pull the rug from up under the Bulls.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what I'm trying to aim for. Didn't give me it. I'm sitting at 420 on this one. Let's see if this thing can hold all the way down and liquidate the bulls here. If I was to take a stop loss, I probably would have been like stop loss up here for like the time being. But now that I got like 400, oh come on, get back. Oh, come on, why I can't drag this? Are y'all seeing this? It's not letting me drag my stop loss. Oh, now it does. that's hilarious.
Wow, that's crazy.
You gotta be kidding me. I was trying to lock in like $200, and I'm like, you know what? This is why I don't use the TradingView connection anymore. I just go straight to TradingView. What was that? That was just silly. So this is fair value gap rejection. I want to see if we can get an extension off this fair value gap rejection. I think we will, because I think the real base of them trying to get back up is inside of here. Let's see if they grab the buy side liquidity here. Nope. Pushed it back through my break even. Yep, gotta close that. That was crazy. Look at that, and it froze.
They're trying to play on people's emotions with those big bullish candles like that.
Mm-hmm. And look at that. Now it closed. Let me see what did they hit me with. 260 loss. After I had like $400 up. That's hilarious. But again, this is a tricky place. Like there is going to be a whole lot of orders as the bulls are trying to establish, saying, no, we're not going to break through the range. But what my theory is, if you wouldn't break through the order block and you wouldn't break through the fair value gap. This is not going to be nice for the bulls. But I won't be patient along the way because I know what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to get the opening range breakout at least up in there. And we're going to see what happens. We are in a lot of deviations. We're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deviations. So this is just part of the pullback. We're back under stranger danger. I want to see a pullback up to stranger danger and then reject. Let's go under. All right, we just went under. I'm going to take another shot at this to the downside. Looking for the fair value gap. They got most of it, but I want to see are they going to get no more because that fair value gap is still sitting there. Now this is tricky because it is a 5th deviation away of the trend line, so this thing can go against us. But if we are right, all the more recent bulls are going to get out the way and it's just going to dump through. If not, then we can go ahead and just take a small loss. It's kind of consolidating here. Kind of letting these oscillators reset for more upside. Don't like this. But these long wicks on this 5 minutes making me think that they have no control. See how long this wick is, this one, and then that one. Trying to see if I can hold on to this for the next 55 seconds without it hitting any of the stop losses or whatever, but kind of tough. 44 seconds. Only for a scalp, folks. Only for a scalp.
Spilled already?
Because of what you did.
I didn't. What happened? I didn't do anything.
Please.
Okay.
Close my door for me. All right, I'm still holding on to this one for this. Looking for a rejection. All right, they're going to try to recapture that wick. Can they get it or can they not? Let's see. On with wifey. Now a little bit of soup hit her hand. Come on. I need you to take out this pivot right here. I would say if you want to short at 350 and only 350. Because if you try to get in right now, this thing probably could kidnap you. Of my money back ish. Thought I had it back. Oh my God, I cannot move this thing. All right, so I'm gonna bring this. Come on, make another lower low on this. Now I can go ahead and push this into profit. There we go. Come on. One more push, and then we get that low. Get that low. Get that low. 725, 765. Boom. There we go. Now I can put that in the profit, and we just go ahead and hold on to that. Come on. Let that close happen. If it gets back under 313 again, I think I'm going to go ahead and take that profit. So out of 700, I'm locking in $370. Assuming that this pivot is going to be our short, and that is where we're going to continue to the downside.
Did you hear me? Could you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. I don't know what the hell's going on with review money. It seems like I only have problems on Zoom.
I don't know. That's weird.
Like it's a setting or something, you know?
I'm still trying to get back to break even.
Oh, you held it for that whole time?
Yep.
But you remember I told you about stranger danger, because stranger danger acts like a magnet sometimes, and you can see it act like a magnet the whole time, and now we're trying to bury bonds it back down, but it's struggling with this area even though we took out this pivot. This area right here, this is gone. We need to close below it. That's why I have my stop loss into profit already, because I'm like, It might not close below it.
You didn't even 400.
All right, let's see if they can sweep the rest of these bulls that probably stepped in here thinking the water's nice.
You didn't even 400. They were just even.
There we go. Make a lower low. That should really clean up everybody. Make a lower low. 33 seconds. There we go. That really pissed off some bulls. That one really made them mad. Right now,
Profit to at least 500.
this is our micro trend. We have a destroyed trend line over here. Oh, no, not yet. We haven't
Now I'm
destroyed
at
that
break
yet.
even.
We destroyed this line. This is the order block, though, so we're going to see if this order block can fill right through.
Yeah, you're not moving your profit.
No, not yet. Because I'm going to wait for this 5 minute to close. All right, perfect. Now, I'm going to put my stop loss at the pivot. Come on, don't you dare. Don't you dare freeze right now.
Shit, I don't care if it freezes or not. That's $720.
Let's see if we can get a solid drop here.
If it bounces off the 300, I'm taking it out.
Okay.
It's psychological number.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to create an H if it keeps
see that?
going down.
And that's what I was afraid of, is that they're going to try to toy with that pivot. I wanted to leave it here, but it was just too much profit for me to just leave that like that. If they come back and retest here and show me a reversal somewhere in here, I'm going to short it again.
It goes where?
Back inside of that fair value gap level, or 354.
54?
Mm-hmm.
354. I have a 4-hour support and resistance right there.
Okay.
That might bounce back down. So right now it's resisting.
That's funny. That contract I was just about to buy was like $80, and then this push up because the IV is getting flipped right now. It didn't print nothing. It stayed break even, and then that dump made it go. Sorry, the dump made it go to break even, and I don't know where we're getting this push. All right, looking for a reversal to happen here.
Yeah, but I wouldn't get in until it breaks the stranger danger.
At least tap it.
I'm talking about going up. I wouldn't go into.
Oh, you wouldn't go up. Okay.
Until it breaks the stranger danger. Close stranger danger.
Close above stranger danger, yeah.
Plus that trend line there too. So
I do.
you have bounced off the damn stranger danger.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it didn't touch it. Almost there.
You know, the government opened back up and the market's not reacting to it.
The problem is we're too many deviations on this downtrend.
Downtrend might be over.
Downtrend might be over. But to be ballsy, if this thing touched this trend line and show me a reversal, I'm going to go ahead and scalp it tight. There we go. Show me my reversal. They took out the internal structure. It's just drifting up right now. They took out all of the sell side liquidity there. That's the fair value gap. There goes our pivot. And that pivot is saying, hey, what's going on? Let me give it a go. No, still didn't show me a reversal. Internal structure fight. I'm telling you, this is just so hilarious. That's your structure right there. They're gonna try to put in a bullish fair value gap. Let's see how much they can get. Look like they're struggling a little bit. Taking that. Oh my God, that is such lag. Let me just hurry up and put this stop loss on the screen before I get mad. Probably risk like 260, something like that. Oh, they already pushed it up. I still got it in my hand. They didn't get the whole fair value gap. I don't think so. I'm looking for the rest. So I could put my stop loss a little closer. Come on. Get your butt down there. Get your big butt out. Get the fair value gap so I can put this stop loss into profit. Not profit, but lower. Yep, I'm about to get screwed on this.
That money back, sir?
Nope, nope, not at all.
You taking it down?
Yep, taking it down. And they're not letting me be great. If it flips the candle, I gotta go ahead and cut it. Gotta go.
It doesn't let you out yet. Took an extra $100.
That sucks. That's all right. That's how I was going to toy with it, because I'm really trying to understand. Since we put 6 deviations in, I wanted to see what would happen if I went against it. I didn't want to take that. That's why I did that on paper. 6, Javi. 6 deviations. That's crazy.
Well, you know how to come back up.
Yeah, I know I got to come back up. The question is, how far does it come back up to?
To knock out at least 2.
The bullish line, maybe. They put a tiny fair value gap here. I mean, real tiny.
You know, somebody got pissed off and said, "Would you bring attention? You was gonna take the whole down there. Now I have to go back down there." You're fired.
This is crazy.
Jai, how you doing today?
Say again?
How you doing today?
They just cracked me on a put I was in.
On the keys?
So I just hopped back into the upside.
The one from earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the keys?
Yeah, he's playing Qs. He's not on the futures. He's waiting for it to reset.
I don't blame him. get you Giant. We need to have lunch, right?
Say that again.
So we need to have some lunch.
Let's get it. Let's get it. I mean XPX actually.
You're where? You're in Orangeburg, right?
That's it.
So what's the halfway between Orangeburg and Augusta?
I don't know. I'd probably rather come to Augusta because all the other places are not as interesting.
This Microsoft has. That alert just came through. Microsoft calls, SoFi puts, NVIDIA puts.
I'm gonna start playing Sophie, man. I like Sophie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not as fast as the Qs, but it could give you an idea.
SoFi 15-minute. You want to see a good 15-minute close under $30.41, and then you could put it down to like 29. NVIDIA, they buying up the dip hard, but you want to see a solid close below this level at 187.50. It's not ready yet. And then Microsoft. Depending on your preference, 512.80. They already closed above it on the previous candle, and they're trying to push it up. So we'll see what happens there. Now let's go over back to NQ because they are trying to get that opening range to go. This might be one overgrown bear trap. As soon as they touch that line, all the bears just step in. So what I wanted to do for some fun was we're going to do a channel, but we're going to do it just like we do an order block. I'm not worried about this. I'm more worried about that, and I'm more worried about that. Kind of like that. And now we kind of outside of that. So they come back inside the channel. I'm going to short it. When I say we're pushing up on low volume, we're pushing up on really, 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 really low volume. All right, we're back inside the channel. Getting a little bit of a bounce. I would love for them to reset my oscillator before I do it, but consider taking it right there on that. And the goal is to just play to like the 50% of it. If we can get to the bottom, that'd be great. But the goal is we have 1, 2, kind of like 3 anomalies here, and seeing if this is going to give us a third. Almost like a trending order block. Shorted. Technically, my stop loss is up here. But I'm looking for this channel to kind of give me some print to the downside. Looking for that 1 minute to get through. Probably break under 413. That would be a good spot for some sense of an entry. There we go. Get to the bottom of the trend. Come on. I know my target was the 50%, but you were extending down. Come on. Give me all the smoke. Let's get down. Let's get down to here. Come on. One more. And I'm going to lock in 120 when it does. It's like this level is holding that support here. One more. Damn, this thing's not falling at all. Oof. I had $100 and something. But we came through that 50% so hard and so fast, I thought we could get under it. Look at that. Look at you. You such jerks. Come on. Stop with the game. Get to the bottom of the channel. There's more bulls down here. I promise you there is. There we go. Come on. You take out the liquidity, get the fair value gap, because that fair value gap is in there too. There we go. I'm taking my stop loss right here. So out of 500, I'm going to lock in 270. Let's see if we can just go ahead and melt down, get out there and be more of an anomaly. But that's the bottom of that channel, so we should be tightening it up a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and use that fair value gap as my support for more downside. Let's see if we can lock in 470. And if it doesn't, cool. If it does, great. But at the end of the day, we're now extended to that anomaly. And yep, there we go. They snatched me up and I'm out of there. So now that's my third anomaly. Now, can this push for another 5 minutes? Absolutely. But with this doggone freaking, what's this doggone thing? Leap? They're jerks about it. Let me see what ranking I am. I'm probably terrible. I am number 13,000 and some change. I have only added X%. Meanwhile, somebody added 33%. Congratulations to those. Let's get out of here. Enough of that crap. That was a good little scalp right there. Oh, there we go. We're going to Stranger Danger. Javi, are you taking this one down? Or did you leave that one alone?
What's that?
Did you take this one down? Try to play it back to Stranger Danger?
No, I didn't take nothing down.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
working on my I'm working on my ETS. I'm moving things around.
okay. Oh, you know what I forgot about? I forgot about my paper trade again. Let me go see those Tesla. Oh my God. Oh, wait a minute. My Tesla puts are at 500% and 166. Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, my Tesla put is holding.
You still taking it?
Oh.
Oh man, Javi, I should have took it with real money. That's your fault.
Yeah, the Tesla you sold out yesterday is holding.
Everybody bet it on me.
That was a pinky. You didn't play the pinky?
No, Daddy, my
I don't
Tesla
have
is
the
30%.
alert. You
My
said
Tesla-
No, I told you. I got it in an alert system. It's in here. Where is it?
show me.
Ticker. Under ticker confirmation, right?
Hey, hold on. Let me get on there. Hold on. Let me walk with you. Hold on. Because I need to start playing some options. If I can make $5,000 in options, I'll be happy.
Oh, at 9:30 it told me to take my profits too. This thing's still running.
You know, my ticker comes out, dude. I get some like warnings, but since I have like, oh man, hold on. Trying to get upset here. I'm gonna have to get rid of some Discord.
Oh, you're into too many discords?
No, there's another Discord. I think it's Pablo's. I get too many alerts.
I told you to mute long term, but what I did, I got rid of long term for right now. Yeah, no one sees it right now.
I just want to get yours. I don't want to get no one else. I don't want to get because SJ sends alerts, but again, I don't have anything against SJ. It's just that he sends all these alerts, and I don't know if they're real or not real. Because when I look at them, I don't see. What do you call it? If they're real or not, but with time, ooh shoot, beast to beast, 2 times challenge.
Yeah, it's trash.
Okay.
I saw it this morning with wifey. I was like, they're giving an account. I would hold on to these Uber calls, but it looks like the market's going to dump, so I'm going to get out of this thing.
Where are the alerts? I'm not your ticker.
All right, so under Compound Central Command.
Hold on, Compound Central Command.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. 1831 shot. Welcome, Central Command. Okay, got it.
All right. So under there, you're going to have ticker communications.
Ticker communications.
Mm-hmm. You got it?
Yeah.
So under ticker communications, you'll see that it has all the tickers that's for the compound challenges.
Okay, let's go to the first one, just so I can get an idea. Okay, it says.
Okay, coming down to the
Trading
bottom.
plan overview. Sell at 2 fill at. It's Google.
Oh, you all the way at the top? Oh, you in the beginning.
No. I could go all the way down if you want.
Yeah, go all the way down, because I don't do the charts anymore, because I think everybody knows how to put their levels now.
I don't.
I showed you how to do it. All right, I'll do a crash course.
Hey, how many times have you told your kid how to make the bed and he still doesn't make it right?
Fair enough. You got me there.
Okay. All right.
So, like example, Microsoft right here, right?
Shit, how far down? Can you reset? Can you jump to present? Okay, jump to present. Jump to present. Man. Okay. Well, I'm in the bottom where it says Microsoft. Yeah, that's the bottom.
Nice.
All right, so.
Yeah, you had to hold it overnight because that thing was not going nowhere. So, you see where it says Microsoft trading plan overview buy one field Microsoft.
Right.
Then it got new strategies. So basically it says buy. So we're gonna get a buy field, and our position is going to be 1. That means we're gonna have 1 contract futures. 1 contract options or 1 share, because I have it designed for multiple shares as well, right? So you just go 1 position. So if we go over to here for Microsoft, right? And we go over to the 15 minute. On that one is 15 minute, right? This is the call that they're trying to get, but we need a close above there. So remember, I got my fib set with 118, but you can do 236 or whatever, right? And my TP that's going to alert to say get out is going to be at 0727, negative 0727.
Okay.
So that's the setup. So now with
what's your target?
Right here, 515.
Okay, TP1.
The alert system is going to finish here, and it's going to say get out by here, or it's going to say get out after it hits the stop loss. But I have it aggressive. The stop loss is all the way like down here at structure. If you get that alert and your position's red, just get out, because that means there's no recovery. If it says here, there's a possibility everybody's going to start taking profit, because that's the second TP. Okay?
So when I go into my, what do you call it? When I go into my,
ticker command?
no, to my,
Broker?
no, yeah, to your broker, I'm looking for what, 515, 520? What am I looking for?
Oh, I would say go with a 520 contract because if it gets in the money, it should print something good. But if it gets to TP1, that should at least give you 20%.
Okay, so when I see the alert, it says buy one. That means, that means buy it now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Do you get it or you're not getting it?
I got it. Yes, okay, let's look at Sophie, for example. Sophie,
Same thing. So if I came in, it is it's already it finally closed below, but it took a massive move to the downside. I would say wait for a retracement to get back, but if
no,
you
no, when this alert came out,
mm-hmm.
this at 10:02.
Yep, because they hit this level, which is the entries at 3041.
Okay, so 3041.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to shoot down for a 29, at least a 29.
No, 27. TP2.
Oh, so you want TP2.
Yeah.
So TP2, 29.
Tw-
Okay.
27 is TP2.
Okay, I was trying to read one eyeball go to your chart and one eyeball go to your alert. Okay, so what I'm doing is, as soon as the alert comes out, get in. I'm gonna try this tomorrow. Oh, if it comes up today again. Now these are all OTE or is it weekly?
No. I would say because it's a 15-minute chart. I would say go out like today is Thursday. Go out to next week. If it was Monday or Tuesday, then I would say go with Friday because all the contracts ends with Fridays.
Okay, so you're talking about weeklies. These are all weeklies
All weeklies.
until you hit your 25% or
Correct.
30% or 100% or 100%.
Correct. The goal is to get 20%, 25%.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. So if you see a bunch of text messages to your phone,
No, that's fine. Last month we had 70 trades that were W's.
70?
Hmm? 70 out of 120.
Man, look at that.
So that was like a 58 success rate. For the ones that take it at TP1, then it would adjust it by 20. So it was 70 out of 100. So that's more like 70%.
Well, even if you don't take TP1,
There's a lot of people that don't take TP1s. And I consider that a failure to a certain degree. So I try to keep track of those that are trying to get it in the money. And that's where that comes in. But what I wanted to show you is Pinky, because that was a 30-minute candle, and this is the one that we talked about. And as I was taking the paper trade, I was like, I don't know, Javi, this thing, how Tesla can move, this thing can do all types of funky stuff, and blah, blah, blah. Remember when I was doing all of that crying I was doing?
yeah.
Yeah. That was not there. Where are you? This one gave us that alert, I think it was. That gave us that alert.
So what you show me on yours was just Pac-Man.
The other one, yes, that was Pac-Man. This one's Pinky.
Pinky was the one who had a diamond or something, I think.
I got both of them have diamonds now. I kind of set that up so I can find the candle I need to measure out of.
Okay, sure. That's with my emotions.
Yeah.
That's with my emotions.
But you know what's funny lately? It's been... Oh, you know what? Sorry, I'm on a different chart. Let me bring the Pinky. That's why I was like, wait, this is not showing me what I'm looking for. Where's my daily? Hi, Baba.
Yeah.
¿Qué pasa?
I need you to unlock your tablet so that I can do the rest of my Excel.
Okay, no problem. You see the profit curve on the strategy? It's crazy. So that was this candle. And then they swept it. That's when I started crying. I was like, Tommy, this is that stuff that Tesla does. It always does this funky stuff to me. So then I got stopped out of that one. And then this one came in. And even that one kind of swept as well. That was this. So the entry was here. And they went ahead and all the way pushed up to here. Wednesday was trash. But I still held on to it because it was just right here. Oh my God, this thing is still dropping. I gotta go over to NQ. Here you go.
Thank you.
But you can see right there at 9:30 that I have it built. This like Pac-Man, I have it built for TP2, right? But Pinky, because I put this inside the compound challenge, I have it going to TP1 intentionally. I'm forcing people to take it at TP1. So I want to kind of see what the success rates are. Because if that's the case, I might put Pac-Man on TP1 also.
Well, I think TP1 would be better for the compound. Let me tell you why. Because if you put that two, people get greedy.
Yeah.
Don't look
And
at
you
me.
want to compound
Look at
it as
her.
quick as possible. I
Sorry.
mean, what are the chances of hitting TP1? 50, 60,
Oh no, it's how the percentage of hitting TP1 is much more frequent than TP2. Extremely more frequent.
Okay, just look at the map. I'm talking about boneheads like me. Okay, I'm not talking about
Mhm.
people because you know how to maneuver. But I'm talking about boneheads, people like me.
Mm-hmm.
When we see indicators, and this is the problem I have. When we see indicators and stuff, right?
Okay.
We're trying to maximize as possible. And you know how many times it get close and then it reverses? We make a winner and two losers.
A lot.
About 8%.
A lot of times.
Okay. So I'm just looking at a kid aspect. Kids fail often before they get it.
Agreed.
You have to have a rail system. So if I start seeing success, I could now go to the next level because I have to get the first level success before I go to the second.
Okay.
You know, you errors in a map. So if you guide them to the TP1 and you start seeing wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then looking at the chart, saying, wait a minute, maybe I could go here, but I put my stop loss as soon as it passes TP1. So I will not make that winner into a loser. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
One, automatically your stop loss goes to, if you don't get out, automatically your stop loss goes to TP1. So they won't be like, oh no, your guy was up 100%, no, it was up 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, to the moment.
So you think I should just put all of them to TP1 then?
Right. Because
Okay.
if you, I'm just saying, if you're dealing with beginners, you need to be hand. Because indicators, like you said, you have to have confluence or something. But we like, somehow.
I'm trying to eliminate that because, you know, there's so much thinking that has to go in for trying to build the confluence. And that's why I kind of built the alert system the way I did it, was to kind of make it as simple as possible.
TP1, if the TP1 is a higher percentage of win rate, right?
Mm-hmm.
TP1 is a higher percentage of win rate. People want to see success. Like, I hate to say it, I'm the same way, but people like to see success like yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, we're not patient enough. Okay.
Agreed.
Two, if think about this. What's the percentage of TP1? Let's just say it's 10%. Okay. If you get 10% movement, you compound 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of a month, you might get hit 2 months, but it's still you're getting hit.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I don't have to be wrong, but I'm just saying, you know, I was Joe. You know, we don't want to hear if this happens, if this happens, if this happens. We want to know we locked in.
You know what? I think so you're saying literally, and I apologize you too, I'm just going to be frank about it. Dumb it down to the most simplest form, to the point like how we kind of talked about the strategy when we was writing out the rules with the jambalaya rice and all that stuff, like when we was doing the military thing. You talking about just bringing it all the way down to that level?
Correct.
All right, I'll do that today.
I'm sorry.
No. It's a good idea, for the most part. So
No, I didn't know. Sorry.
no, it's it's fine because at the end of the day, I gotta mix it up a little bit. But actually, you know what? It's already 30. Let me let YouTube go. YouTube, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day. We're gonna have a very interesting compound challenge. Go ahead and hit the link down below so that way we can go ahead and hit these targets. I'm gonna break it down to its purest form. Shout out to Javi. We're gonna do that together. All right. So see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great day.